Welcome to USM Tutorials. Today we will learn how to cite sources using APA style. You may be wondering just why citation of sources is so important. Well, first of all, citation allows you to give credit to an author for his or her words and ideas. More importantly, though, it's the law. Many of the sources that you will use are copyrighted. Failure to properly cite these sources constitutes a violation of copyright law. Moreover, USM has strict policies against plagiarism. Violation of these rules can result in failure or worse, expulsion. Finally, citation creates a bibliography for your readers, allowing them to conduct further reading on your topic. Next, let's briefly examine what APA style is. APA stands for American Psychological Association. The APA devised APA style, a style of writing and formatting used in the social sciences. It dictates that citations be formatted in a specific way. Today we'll learn how to cite the types of sources you will most often use in school: books, articles, and web content. In order to cite a book, you must first find some essential information, including the name of the author or authors, the date of publication, the title, place of publication, and publisher. You will also need to know the names of any editors or translators and the edition number if applicable. Most of this information can be found on the title page, an example of which we see here. This will be one of the first pages in the book. Let's take a closer look. In the top center, we see the title. Just under the title, we find an edition number. Closer to the bottom of the page, we see the name of the author, also in large print like the title. The publisher and publication date are smaller at the very bottom of the page. Some information will be found on the copyright page, as shown here. From this, we can tell that the place of publication is Oxford. Now that we have all necessary information, we can begin building our reference list entry. Note from the example that we start with the author's last name, followed by his first initials. We then add the date of publication in parentheses. Next is the title italicized. Note that only the first word of the title and the first word of the subtitle are capitalized. Proper nouns will also be capitalized. Finally, we have the place of publication, followed by a colon and the publisher. Because our book has more than one edition, we include the edition number in parentheses after the title. Next, we will look at the essential information for citing an article. This includes author, date of publication, article title, journal title, volume number, issue number, and pages. We also need to know the digital object identifier, or DOI, or the URL of the article. Most of this information will usually be found in the bottom or top margins of the first page of the article, as seen here. As usual, the title and author are in the center of the page, more visible than the other information. If you cannot find all necessary information in the article, you can also look in the database entry for the article. As you can see, this Academic Search Premier entry contains all information for the article, including the issue number that was missing on the first page. Again, we build our reference list entry. We include the names of both authors, separated by a comma and ampersand. Then comes the publication date in parentheses. After that is the article title. Note that the title is unitalicized and only the first word is capitalized. Next is the journal title, which is italicized and in title case. After that come the volume number, issue number, and page numbers. Note the formatting here. Last of all, we have the DOI. Now we will learn how to cite web documents. For this, we will need to know the author of the document, publication date, title, and URL. As you can see, the title here is centered and more visible than either information in the left margin. You will find the URL in your address bar. Citing web documents is relatively simple. First, we include the author's name. Next, the publication date in parentheses. Then the title, unitalicized in sentence case. Finally, the phrase retrieved from preceding the document's URL. In order to construct our reference list, we simply list all of our citations in alphabetical order by author, as seen here. We must also cite our sources within the body of our paper using in-text citations. To do this, we can either introduce the author and date using a signal phrase, or we can put this information in parentheses after the quotation. Note the placement of the page number. Page numbers are only necessary when citing quotations, not paraphrases. For in-text citations involving two authors, either separate the author's last names with the word "and" in the signal phrase, or separate them with an ampersand in the parenthetical citation. For 3 to 5 authors, you must cite all authors in your first citation, but you can use the first author followed by the phrase et al. In subsequent citations. For more than 6 authors, simply list the first author followed by the phrase et al. For all citations. While we have learned how to cite the most commonly used formats here, there are still many others. If you need help citing other formats, please refer to Purdue's Online Writing Lab, a comprehensive guide to using APA style. The official APA style website may be helpful as well.